Hello, welcome to the GenXplainers podcast, The Perfect Song. And today, along with our usual panel of Mike and Alan, we've got special guests. Say hello very quickly, and then we'll get into it.
Hello, I am Mandy. I am Alan's fiance, who is a normal panelist. Thank you for having me.
Hi, I'm Tony. I'm Matt's brother. He's a somewhat normal panelist.
And today's song is brought by one of our guests, Mandy. I'll let you tell us what it is and tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so my song today is Mr. Brightside by The Killers. It is the debut single of American rock band, The Killers. It's from their first album, Hot Fuss. It was written by band members Brandon Flowers and Dave Kooning. It was one of the first songs ever written by them. It was released in September of 2003. It has sold over 3.5 million copies. It is one of the longest charting singles in the United Kingdom. It has spent 390 weeks, nearly 7.5 years on the charts. It was voted the 9th greatest guitar riff of the 21st century by Total Guitar magazine. It's listed by the Rolling Stone magazine as one of the best songs of all times. It's number 378 of the 500 greatest songs of all time. It tells a story of Brandon, the lead singer and one of the writers' paranoia of his girlfriend cheating on him and caught her in a Vegas casino with another man. Very soap opera-y.
Yeah.
They performed this song for the first Raiders game when they moved to Las Vegas on top of Caesar's Palace. It's also known to be the Millennials' Don't Stop Believing. So for boomers, so for boomers, it's Don't Stop Believing. And for millennials, it's Mr. Brightside. It's a song that if you play it in a club, it gets all the kids jumping and singing. For me, it's especially one of my favorites because they are one of my all-time favorite bands. I have seen them 7 times in concert.
Wow.
And it is, for me, just special in the way of like certain songs like are a certain moment of time. And I was coming out of a breakup and it was just like, it was a moment in time for me. So that's for me. The song. So that there is Mr. Brightside.
All right. How would we go to Mike and talk about how he first got wind of the Killers, Mr. Brightside, and how he's smirking because I feel like.
well, I was going to add because I guess just recently this week, just before we recorded this week, they had something on the news about this song was also studied on like 20,000 different Spotify playlists, and it's the #1 driving song apparently.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm sure I first heard this when it came out because it was played nonstop. I don't remember exactly where it was or how I felt or anything like that. I remember thinking, oh, it's got a nice little beat to it. You know, I could see this becoming very popular, and once I knew a little bit more about the band, it made sense to me that they were originally from Vegas, because it felt like a Vegas show song to me. And so for me, it made a lot of sense that it came from a band that formed in Vegas, and that's where that's kind of thing. It didn't really have much of an impact on me, the song itself. And to this date, I can't really say it still has that much of an impact on me. Other than when it comes on, I know the song and I'm like, oh, it's still kind of catchy. And that's kind of what it is for me.
How about Tony? What do you think of this here song?
I'm just waiting for Manny to jump on me.
No, I'm ready. I got
He's ready.
notes.
I'm not a big Killers fan, but as far as this song goes, I like it because of the guitar part. Because of that, it's actually pretty intricate, and it really does drive the song, and it gives it a basis to come off of it. It is, like Mike mentioned, very Vegas-y kind of a show. It almost sounds like a show tune with electric guitars. But at the same time, there's something about it. I think what I like most about it is Brandon Flowers is not singing flat. So every other song, so a lot of times I hear a song, I go, why is everyone up in their arms about this band? This guy sings flat on every song I hear, and I just get annoyed. But that's just me. That's just me. I know he's pretty and everything, but I'm not.
I've had a break. I've taken some voice lessons. It seemed like the right thing to do, you know? I wanted to be better, get better. So we're just kind of fine-tuning a few things. You know, I'm not trying to be an opera singer or anything.
I'm not a huge fan of the band, but I do like this song and maybe a couple others. And mainly because I played some of these songs in my cover band. But yes, this song is it's a nice driving guitar part. And I do like this song.
I was there for one of your angry moments talking about the Killers, Tony. So
okay.
Right.
I rarely have those things. I don't know why. I must have been on a real tear. That
I was a passenger. You were driving somewhere. I remember vividly. Like,
see, it's for a driving song.
You got so mad at that band. It was great.
I don't remember why.
Alan feels the same way. I think he's changed a little bit just because of me, but.
Well, Al, with that, would you like to slide on in?
I have to be careful with my words.
Yes.
You're the same home.
Everybody acts like I'm so fragile, like a bomb.
No, I just don't. No, we're fragile. We don't want to get kicked.
Yeah, fragile is not the word I would use. I'm the fragile one. No, so first of all, I will just start this all off by saying, before I ever heard the Killers, one of my all-time favorite artists slagged them, so I was kind of biased against them when I first heard them in the first place. Carrie Brownstein of Slater Kinney initially said that when someone said, "Oh, the Killers, they sound like Gang of Four," and she's like, "Yeah, they sound like Gang of Four if Gang of Four sucked." And so I heard that before I ever heard them, and I'm not a fan. I have diligently listened to this song a lot. I did my research. It is strangely enough, it's also a staple at the Michigan football games. And for good reason. It is a high energetic song. It's driving. You know, the songs that I've heard of the Killers, there is a lot of glam to it, which is why I think it sounds kind of like a rock version of a Vegas show tune. But they kind of back off the glam a little bit, my feeling is, on this one, but it's still there because that is who they are. And I think because they kind of back off that a little bit and it's got that driving, energetic sound, yeah, it definitely gets your blood moving. It gets your toe tapping. I totally makes sense that it's a good driving song. And as you mentioned, it is huge for the generation that followed ours. So I probably heard it at some point in my life before you and I were together, but without knowing it. And so my exposure to it has been fairly recent. And I will say, without, tipping my hat or anything, I was surprised at how much I did like it.
I will say there's an acoustic version out there that actually is better than the album version for me. So
Really?
Do you think it's the favorite driving song because they misread the title as Mr. Right Side instead of Mr. Brightside, and it's really popular in America, but not in England. But it is popular in England, so they okay.
And
All
I can
right.
see how it could get worn out for somebody in the way that Hot Fest was the top selling album that year. Like, this song is definitely overplayed, but I mean, there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will also say, the line "jealousy turning saints into the sea," I think is beautiful. I think that's a fantastic line.
Yeah. Well, for me, when the song and the album came out, I heard it on the radio, I'm sure, and I actually really liked it. It sort of just caught my ear, and it was catchy, and I think it's because it's so catchy and high energy that I sort of really I dug it. So I actually bought the CD. I have the CD in the other room. Actually, I have Sam's Town as well. I have a couple of Killers CDs. So I was a bit of a fan.
Excellent.
It actually is pretty good. But after that, I started again. I just lost interest, and I think maybe their style, or the glammy style, and the just their sound maybe it didn't change very much for me or something, and maybe I just said, like, okay, it's not grabbing me anymore. Maybe. But that said, I did really like the song. I like the driving kind of the tempo of it, and the way he's working that hi-hat, he's going crazy. And the guitar has these arpeggios too. The ding, 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 it's sort of, it really, basically it grabs on you. If a song grabs on you either emotionally or with a vibe or a groove, or if it's just a train moving groove, I like it. I think the song is doing its job. And this song does it, I think. And the other thing I love is I actually like his vocals. I don't hear flat or sharp. I don't really hear that unless it's egregious. So I don't have necessarily that issue that Tony had about singing flat. But I think his delivery of it, and the emotion to his delivery, is really, really great to what he's singing about. Like the choices that he makes to deliver a line. There's the line, and I'll be doing just fine.
What's the
line before that? It's like, I'll be
coming out of my cage.
And I've been doing just fine. Gotta
so
be down.
The way he could have delivered it with the melody that he had been singing the other verses, like I'm getting out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. He doesn't choose to do that. He chooses to do,
I'm coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss. How did it end up like this? It was only a kiss.
he changes it to show that he's unsure or that he's being defensive about how he's feeling. And I love when lyricists deliver the songs that way, that add a dimension to the song that isn't just, let's just do that melody over and over and over and we'll get there,
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a little example.
No, it's true. And he does it also. It was only a kiss. It was only a kiss. Like,
Right.
he does it there
And
too.
I like that little theatrical, flares there.
Vegas-y.
Well,
Vegas.
and they can do that because the two verses are exactly the same. And the second one is
Right.
almost a commentary on the first one because there are those flourishes. Like, it was only a kiss.
Yeah.
Like, I've said it now. That's the fourth time he says it.
Right. Yeah. And I like that kind of stuff. And again, because maybe it's so personal, he's giving, or it's so important to him, he's giving his emotional all, right? So I like the way he sings this. And I like the glamminess of it, the show tuniness of it. I think I think a lot of the 90s music was a little too self-aware and important, kind of. It was all very like, but then this song comes along, and to me, it harkens back to like a 80s band, like ABC, although I love ABC much more. But, it's a sort of an unashamed glamminess or something to it, I think sort of the Smiths are like that too.
Yeah.
Like Morrissey's lyrics. He's like, I'm just going to sing like this. And it's like, that's fine because it works for what you're doing. So I felt that way about this song too. I have a little bit of trivia. Like you were saying, it's very popular. It's huge on the streaming platforms because I think it sort of coincided with like when those were really taking off. But the calling a cab section, I'm calling a cab.
Okay.
There's a big similarity to that and the middle part of the David Bowie song, Queen Bitch.
Now she's leading him on, and she'll lay him right down. She's leading him on, and she'll lay him right down. Better
I was just going to say that David Bowie and Depeche Mode are two of their biggest influences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It totally shows.
Yeah.
So.
And Johnny Marr opened for them on their last tour.
There you go. So
now you got me thinking what this would sound like if Morrissey sang it.
see, that would be something.
I'm Mr. Brightside.
It would be much slower, probably. Maybe not.
Driving saints into the sea where they deserve to go.
I think that's magic. That would be a magical alchemy. So anyway, yeah, just to sort of see, I've mentioned everything. I like the pop rock cheesiness. I like his desperation, manic sounding delivery as it goes. And yeah, that's my feeling of it.
I think I said in the beginning more my personal experience with it rather than about the song as far as the end of my thought, which was, again, I think that music holds a certain place for you at certain times and makes it important to you in a way that it might not be to another person. And this song was one of those songs for me. And this album was one of those albums. So it's always just been near and dear to me. And again, being in my late 20s, fresh out of a breakup in the bar scene, and this song would come on, and yeah, you just dance and jump, and it's an anthem. So
You don't need to justify it. It's okay.
Well, yeah, you have to.
Whatever. And also, it's a millennial jam, and you guys are on if we're talking GenXplainers, you're on this side of the cusp, so you're closer to boomers, and I'm closer to a millennial. So
It's true. It's true.
there's a reason you don't like it.
And again, I think I was gonna say something about. Hold on, sorry. Yeah, I totally lost it. It's okay. So,
She's like, she called me a boomer. Okay, boomer.
Tony's the only boomer.
Yeah.
Yeah, just by like 4 or 5 years. It's okay.
I would add it musically a driving song. Lyrically, it is about like this thing that unfortunately we've all experienced, is that jealousy or that sense of someone that we really care about being with someone else. So it's an interesting juxtaposition, right? It's a song that can be there for, like, if you want to be jumping on the dance floor, it's good for that. But if you also want to be upset about a relationship that's not working out, it can do that too. So there's
or
that
if you want to just cry on the dance floor, I mean, you can do both to it,
while jumping.
while jumping. So
A sight to
Or
see.
cry while driving
Into the dance
on the right
floor.
side.
That's right. We hope you're enjoying this GenXplainers podcast. Please remember to find us and follow us on social media. And we'd much appreciate a 5-star rating on the podcast platform of your choice. Now, let's get back to the show. So there you have it. You've heard our opinions. Now we're gonna vote. So, well, let's go ahead, Mandy. You can. I know what your vote is, but go ahead and start us off with whether you think it's perfect or not.
I do, absolutely. Again, I've said my piece. It's my favorite band and my favorite song by them. So there you have it. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Good thing I have my pipe.
Okay. Well, let's save Alan for a little later. Let's have Mike go next.
Okay. I don't have anything against the song per se. And actually, I understand and going with the criteria I use for picking a perfect song, the timelessness of it. The song is timeless. I mean, you could play this at any moment in time. It plays for different moods. It does a lot of things. So there are things about the song that are very good. But
There's always a big but.
Big
Yeah.
butt.
Tell me about your big butt.
I don't have to tell you. You can see it.
Anyway, so But the thing is, it just doesn't work for me. And
That's fair.
so going off of that, I cannot vote perfect song. I have to say no.
Okay.
So rude.
All right, Tony, you opened your mind for this, you said.
Yes.
And go
I
ahead.
agree with Mandy, especially on the fact that if a song really resonates with you because it's a time of your life and it really hits you, then, I get it. I get that why it would be a good song, why a perfect song to you. It didn't hit me ever in the way that it hit Mandy or anyone else who might have really resonated with it. It resonates me musically. The vocals are like I said in this song. I like it because he's not singing flat. I can't get
Which
over
I
that.
need
don't
to know more about that one for you.
Yeah, I forget what song it was. I don't remember some song and it was playing on the radio all the time. I go, why do people like this so much? Is he singing flat the whole time? I don't get it. Anyway, but we're talking about Mr.
Like
Brightside.
human.
Mr. Brightside is, like Mike said, very catchy. It's timeless. You could hear 20 years from now, and that's a big thing for me. If 20 years from now you can play this song and go, oh yeah, I remember this song. Oh yeah, this is cool. I remember it. That to me makes it kind of leans towards the perfect. But because I'm so biased and an asshole about the Killers, I'm going to say no. And
All right.
So at the risk of me being murdered at the end of the year by Mandy, I'm going to say that.
All right.
Watch out in October. I'm coming for you.
Okay. Alan, why don't you go ahead and go?
I will go. I have already said my piece about the Killers. I mostly don't care for them. And although they're very good at what they do, it just doesn't resonate with me. Having listened to this song repeatedly, having done research, and warming up to the song more each time, and its timeless nature, and this is going to be kind of going against what other people have said. There is something iconic about this song that I recognize. And because I recognize that, I actually do think it is a perfect song. And I'm not just saying that
I was going to say, are you saying that just because you sleep next to me?
No, because I really don't sleep that much.
Because you're sleeping on the couch tonight. If you say
And and if you are, you're going to have one eye open now.
Yeah.
No,
All right.
I will say yes. I think it is.
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
All right. Well, I don't have a problem actually saying I do think it is perfect. Also, but again,
Thanks, Matt.
there's different criteria for like perfect. Like I know Mike is a lot about the timeless. No. I do think it's perfect. The vote is in, but I wanted to say that certainly it had that personal aspect that you talked about, Mandy, because for whatever reason at that time, I can remember the time of my life. It was like 2004 or 3, whatever. It hit really well. Not that anything was going on in my life, but for some reason the sound maybe was a little just different enough for me to really get into it. And I did buy the album, like I said, and I like the album actually. I'm just going to mention a couple of songs that I remember liking because I haven't listened to them in years. I think "Smile Like You Mean It's" really good.
It's great. Jenny was a friend of mine.
That's the opener. I don't remember that one, but I don't remember disliking any of them. But the ones that I remember, All the Things I've Done, I think I liked a lot, and maybe Change Your Mind. I don't know, but that's just from my memory. So yeah, I voted yes, and I kind of felt like I was going to, but when I listened to it again, it kind of confirmed. It's like, yeah, this is catchy. It's fine. It's not like the greatest song in the world or anything, but again, for what it is and for the personal part, I vote yes. So there you have it.
Awesome.
Good choice. A nice lively debate and different votes. I like it.
I agree.
So if you are a stodgy old boomer or a Gen Xer who just hasn't given this song a choice or a chance, excuse me, hasn't given it a chance, check it out and maybe even just listen to all of Hot Fuss.
Yeah.
And open your mind, man. All right. Thanks, guys.
Can you read our
Thank
minds?
you.
Thanks to the panel. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.